A very good afternoon to one and all, and I would like to request all the participants to kindly mute themselves so that we can hear the resource person and the dignitaries. That would be very kind of you. And we will begin within a couple of minutes, so have patience. Thank you. So, as we have seen that we have been blessed with the presence of the dignitaries and the resource persons, so I would like to begin the session, the virtual seminar for the day. So, good morning, good afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, whatever part of the world, because this is an international webinar. And I would like to welcome on this international webinar on the theme of International Nurses Day, Our Nurses, Our Future, which is organized by the Nursing Teachers Association of India, Uttar Pradesh branch, Kanpur zone. This is Ernest Lamuel, Joint Secretary of Kanpur zone, and I am honored to have this opportunity to address such an eminent group of speakers, national and state delegates, organizing committee, and participants. In the realm of healing, there are cornerstone, our nurses shine, their dedication brightly shone. With hearts of gold, their care extends beyond, guiding us through trials where strength is spawned. They hold the future in their nurturing hands, building a world where health and wellness expand. From bedside to research, their impact profound. Our nurses shape a future where healing abounds. Their selfless inspires their knowledge supreme, a beacon of hope in the toughest of regimes. In this Nurses Month, let's unite and celebrate our nurses, the architects of the health state. And with this, I would like to request Mr. Dheeraj Parashar sir, National Spokesperson and UP State in charge, to unfold the theme of International Nurses Month, Our Nurses, Our Future. Over to you, Dheeraj sir.
Thank you so much, Ernest.
Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. As we know that we are gathered here for attend an international webinar on impact of yoga in pregnancy and its outcome on fetal well-being. So, dear participants, welcome to our webinar on the theme of our nurses, our future. We are thrilled to gather today to honor and celebrate the incredible contribution of nurses in shaping the future of healthcare. In this event, we will delve into the vital role nurses play in delivering compassionate care, driving innovation, and campaigning positive changes within our healthcare system. Throughout history, nurses have been the heart and soul of patient care, providing comfort, healing, and support during time of vulnerability. Today, as we navigate a rapidly evolving healthcare landscape, it is imperative to recognize the indispensable role of nurses in driving the future of healthcare forward. They are at the forefront of groundbreaking research, advocating for policy changes, and shaping patient-centered care models. In this webinar, we have gathered a panel of esteemed experts who will share their experiences, insight, and expertise on how nurses are transforming healthcare and shaping a brighter future for all. We will explore topics such as nursing leadership, technological advancement, the impact of nursing education, and the importance of fostering a supportive environment for our nurses to thrive. We invite you to actively participate in this enlightening discussion and engage with our esteemed speakers and gain valuable insight into the significant role nurses play in shaping our collective future. Together, Let us appreciate and celebrate the dedication, license of compassion of our nurses and work towards empowering them as change agents in healthcare. Thank you for joining us on a remarkable journey as we delve into our nurses, our future. Let's create a shared vision for a stronger healthcare system with nurses at its heart. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Ernest.
You're very welcome, sir. And thank you for blessing us with your presence. We are very honored and blessed to have you. Moving on to the formal welcome, for which I would like to request Professor Jayashri Ajit, President of Kanpur Zone, UP State Nursing Teachers Association of India, to proceed for the formal welcome of the dignitaries. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Evans.
Welcome, ma'am.
Very good afternoon, good morning to everyone. A very warm welcome to all present over here, respected faculty members and national and state executives. It is an honor to be graced by the presence of Mrs. Aparna Shukla. She is a nurse midwife. To be honored to have your presence and support. And thank you, ma'am, for your accepting the invitation to give the key speech over the yoga today and guidelines for faculties and students to do. My welcome goes to the team, national team members, Professor Dr. Farooq Khan, National President of NTI, Professor Dr. Manish Kumar, National General Secretary, NTI, Professor Dr. Poonam Thakur, National Treasurer, NTI. We are welcoming you, ma'am, in this discussion. Then I welcome state dignitaries, Professor Dr. D.R. Christie, ma'am, President, UP State, NTI, Professor Kiran Sharma, ma'am, Vice President, UP State, NTI, then Dr. Sarika Saxena, Secretary, UP State, NTI members, and welcoming to all those who are the participants and other members, those who are supporting us in this webinar. In this international webinar, and once again, I'm welcoming you to everyone. And it's very important that we are having the eminent speaker over here, Mrs. Aparna Shukla. She is an owner and founder of the Sukh Connection. Sukh Connection serves in the area of the wellness and the prevention of disease. Further details of services, including online yoga, mindfulness, and integrated classes, are available in the sukhconnection.com. The Aparna started her professional journey in 1995 with completion of the BSc Nursing Honours from the College of Nursing, Kanpur. Then she pursued her career in teaching. She completed her master's from the Delhi RK College of Nursing in 2001. She became the qualified antenatal educator. She has completed module in preparation for the birth and parenthood from the Cork University, Ireland in 2013. Then she has got the professional certificate in therapeutic use of the mindfulness from the Institute of the Integrative Counseling and Psychotherapy in 2015 and mindfulness-based stress reduction course in 2017. She has done a course in enhancing clinical practice from the University College, Dublin, Ireland in 2016. Her interest and passion to understand the human body and mind lead her to become a Yoga Alliance certified yoga teacher. Aparna, she has attended many conferences and courses for continuous professional development, and she is presently working as midwife nurse advisor for a multinational company licensed in Ireland. In addition, this is also having the facilitate the pregnancy and mindfulness workshop for Irish nurses and midwives organization. And she is trained midwife and public health nurse in Ireland to provide antenatal classes. She enjoys teaching in yoga and mindfulness. Aparna worked in national maternity hospitals, Dublin for over 6 years, which is one of the best in Europe and the best maternity hospital and annual birth rate with over 9,000 babies. She has served in various teaching positions in India, including her appointment as an assistant professor in College of Nursing, Gwalior, India. She has participated in training modules in midwifery practices from the UNICEF and 2001 and by UNICEF Bhopal, India. And she has recorded podcasts for the VHI engine Life Matters, Family Health Magazines. She's living and working in Ireland since 2002 as a healthcare practitioner. And she has a deep and genuine interest in motivating parents Take charge of their physical and mental health. They play active role in their journey to parenthood. Aparna, she has the vast experience in working with educational system, healthcare of India and Ireland, along with her present role as a midwife advisor with her expertise as a mindfulness and yoga teacher puts her in best position to combine ancient wisdom with scientific evidence-based knowledge to facilitate holistic childbirth and parenting classes. Will say whatever is the this is very less for the regarding the Madam Aparna. Once again, I welcome you all, especially our guest speaker. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ernest.
Thank you so very much for the formal welcome. We are again have you. Yeah, sorry for that. So moving on to the session, in the realm of pregnancy, yoga's grace unfolds, nurturing both mother and child as life unfolds. A gentle practice, soothing body and mind, imparting a positive impact that's one of a kind. With each asana and breath, a bond is formed, enhancing blood flow, keeping both safe and warmed. The outcome is profound, as studies attest. Fetal well being thrives in the loving nest. From relaxation to strength, yoga's gifts are profound, supporting healthy development, joy all around. In pregnancy's journey, let's yoga be a guide, creating harmony within where love does abide. And with this, I would like to welcome the resource person of the international webinar, Mrs. Aparna Shukla ma'am, nurse midwife counselor, Ireland, to proceed with the session. Over to you, Aparna ma'am.
Namaste, everyone. And
Yes, ma'am.
thank you, Ernest, for such a
You're welcome.
lovely introduction
Thank you.
about yoga and about nurses. And my heartfelt thanks to Jayashree Ajit ma'am for inviting me to be a resource person for this topic that is extremely close to my heart. Because and it is so beautiful the way it is falling in the middle of the two things. So this webinar is in the middle of the Nurses Month, leading to International Day of Yoga in June. So May is Nurses Month that we celebrate nurses, and it's International Nurses Day. And then 21st of June is International Yoga Day. And I feel like I'm perfect combination of both. So
you are definitely.
so proud to be a nurse and so proud to be a yoga teacher. So thank you so much for giving me this most wonderful and delightful opportunity to be a speaker. And my heartfelt thanks also to Nursing Teachers Association of India, especially UP branch. I'm from Kanpur and I trained in Kanpur. So the place is very close to my heart as well. So let's begin with today's topic. But yeah, I would like to say a few names that are familiar to me. And I apologize if I'm missing anybody's name. So hello, Girija ma'am and Jayashree ma'am, Sarika ma'am, and President of Kanpur Zone, if I'm wrong, Dr. Farooq Khan, Rahul sir, and there are others whom there is somebody else who I couldn't see the name because it said iPhone, so I'm sorry. And
That's Dheeraj Parashar sir, national spokesperson.
Sorry, what's his name?
Dheeraj Parashar sir.
Dheeraj sir, namaste. So let's begin with today's topic, which is effect of yoga on pregnant women and fetal well-being. It's so obvious, but because we are students of science, everything has to be proven. But our ancestors knew all this by using their mind and body as a laboratory. They didn't need to sit in a laboratory and put on those electrodes on the head and record those ECG and all those kind of monitors in a neuroscientific lab. They just knew that because they were so connected with their own body, with their own mind. So our ancestors, when they were meditating on top of Himalayas, when they were doing those yoga poses in the nature, they just knew that it works. They have given us such a profound knowledge that is really giving India a very high name all around the world. And I can tell you the amount of yoga teachers that I meet here in Ireland, and they are so dedicated and they try their best to even speak the Sanskrit names of the yoga asanas. And it really touches my heart that what a gift of India to the world in the form of yoga. And what a beautiful gift a mother gives not only to her own family, but to the entire humanity. Because when a baby is born, that baby does not only belong to a mother, it belongs to the world. Because depending on what this baby will do in the world, it's like a ripple effect on the whole humanity. So, what kind of person we raise our children to be, they become either a contributor to a healthy society or they become a destructive force for a healthy society. So when these two things merge, yoga and pregnancy, the outcome is just a miracle, nothing less than a miracle. And that's why I'm hoping that a lot of young girls are attending this talk. Hopefully, a lot of students are here, our nursing students, our future rests in their hand for both. We trust them in bringing the name of the nursing high in the world. And also, being a woman, when you become a mother, remember that you have to kind of, be connected to your own self and bring out the best possible in you so that you bring out the best possible baby in the world. And it's not about the judgment. Every baby is beautiful, but when mother is present and when mother is connected to her inner self, the outcome is just so wonderful. And I can give you my own example. I remember when I was pregnant for the first time, and I was not I'm talking about almost 18 and a half years ago. So my son is 18 and a half year old and the other one is 17 years old. So when my first child was born, I was very stressed out and I was so anxious. And it's so obvious in the personality of the child, how I was, what state I was in pregnancy. And then when my second child, when I was pregnant second time, for some reason, I was very relaxed, not only because of the state of mind that I was in, plus my sister sent me from India. Those days we used to have cassettes. There was not, the internet revolution wouldn't have happened. So we didn't have mobile phones or YouTubes, but I had this cassette that was sent to me by my sister, and it was Garbh Sanskar. So this Garbh Sanskar in Amitabh Bachchan's voice. So I used to put on that cassette every day and listen to Garbh Sanskar mantras in Amitabh Bachchan's voice. And it was such a beautiful, happy, healthy pregnancy. And I see the result in the personality of my child, that he's just growing up to be a a handsome and very stable minded man. So I'm only giving you this. Sorry, is somebody talking to me or no? Okay. So yeah, I'm only giving you this example so that you take this message forward for your own journey in pregnancy when the time is right. So let's begin with today's presentation. So I'm going to share the slide, and if you have any question, you can raise your hand or send a message in the chat box. Make sure that your mic is muted all the time, otherwise there will be a lot of disturbance. So I'm going to share my slides now. Oh, okay. it seems I'm not a host, I'm not a co-host, so I'm disabled from sharing the slides.
Just a
So,
second, ma'am. I'll get in touch with the host and I'll let you know.
okay, that's no problem. So let's start with the introduction while we are getting the slides ready. So during pregnancy, there are a lot of changes that take place in women's body. And these changes not only happen in the physical body, but they also happen in the emotional body. So, and the mental body. And remember, in yoga, they always talk about this pancha kosha. So a yogic body is the body that has 5 sheets, 5 koshas. So the first kosha is called Annamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha is the physical body. So mother is carrying the baby in this physical body. So this is her Annamaya kosha. And then the second kosha is called Manomaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha. So the actually after Annamaya kosha, let's talk about the second kosha, which is Pranamaya kosha. So Pranamaya kosha is something to do with prana energy. Prana energy is the breath body. So breath body is when the mother is breathing. How mother is breathing? Is she anxious? Is she breathing fast? Or is she stable and she's doing some pranayama practice? So then she's nourishing her pranamaya kosha, and this breath leads the fresh oxygen to the baby. So baby is nourished with her pranamaya kosha. And then the third layer is called manomaya kosha. So manomaya kosha is mother's thought body. Her thought body is where the thoughts are being created. So what kind of thoughts mother is creating? What kind of mental state she is in? Is she worried what people are talking about? Is she worried about the miscarriage? Is she always thinking about something? Or is she quite relaxed, happy, and creating a happy, healthy thoughts? So depending on what kind of thought, what kind of manomaya kosha mother is having, that will have a direct impact on the pregnancy. And then the fourth kosha in a yogic body is called Vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is the wisdom body. And I think I'm being helped with my slide sharing. So yeah, let's continue and finish this kosha part first, and then I will share my slides. So the fourth kosha is wisdom body, which is Vijnanamaya kosha. So Vijnanamaya kosha is only activated when the mother is very much in touch with her Annamaya kosha. She knows the right food to eat, Sattvic bhojan, Sattvic ahar. Mother is always choosing the right food, the organic, fresh, homemade food and vegetarian food. And she is staying in that Sattvic energy with Sattvic food. Then she is nourishing her Annamaya kosha. If mother is practicing pranayama, she is staying in touch with the purification of her nadis, and her pranamaya kosha is activated. If mother is practicing meditation, then she's activating her manomaya kosha and her mind is stable and relaxed. Then mother is very much in touch with her balanced state of mind. There is a lot of empty space in the mind. Mind is not worried about something always. So then mother's manomaya kosha is activated. If all these koshas are activated, then her Vijnanamaya kosha is already activated and working. So Vijnanamaya kosha is called wisdom body. Wisdom body means a body of mind that is higher mind. So a mind that knows what is right and what is wrong. So it knows how to use the discrimination. So this discerning faculty of the mind, which Patanjali calls as chitta space. So in chitta space, when the ahankara or ego is in balance, then mother is using her wisdom body or Vijnanamaya kosha. And then the last layer of a yogic body is called Anandamaya kosha. Anandamaya kosha is the um, Ananda body. Ananda means happiness. Happiness means mother is just inherently happy in herself, not for any external reason, but because this source or fountain of happiness just kind of flows from within, and she just knows how to be happy. So if that is the case, then this mother is having a yogic body with all these panchakosha, and she's nourishing the most beautiful human being that will be born on the planet Earth, with a lot of positive energy, with a mind that is already kind of ready to do the right thing. And that baby will be quite calm and relaxed in the personality. Baby wouldn't be crying too much. And when this baby starts to grow, it's already visible to the world that this baby is a gift for the humanity. And I really mean it when I say all this. So now that my slides are ready, I'm going to start to share the slides, because I'm not in control of the slides. So I will say next when we are ready to move on to the next slide. So yeah, please, next.
Sure, ma'am.
So the agenda or the topic that I will be talking today is introduction, which I've already done, what is yoga and what is prenatal yoga. So pregnancy yoga is called prenatal yoga. And then benefits of yoga for mother and fetus. And then we will look at some scientific evidence-based information as to why yoga is beneficial and what outcomes have been found in researches. Next. So the objective for today's talk is that after today's session, you will be able to recognize the need of prenatal yoga during pregnancy. You will be able to reiterate the benefits of yoga and pranayama for pregnant women. You will be able to apply this knowledge towards encouraging mothers and even fathers to practice breathing exercises, to practice pranayama, to practice yoga asanas during and after pregnancy. And you will be able to explain the scientific evidence-based information, what will happen to the fetal outcome if mother is practicing prenatal yoga. You'll be able to identify your role as a nurse, as a midwife, as a student, that how you can promote prenatal yoga. And hopefully, if I had a couple of minutes at the end of the talk, I will be able to show you few very simple, basic pregnancy yoga asanas. Next. So significant physical, emotional, mental changes occur during pregnancy due to its very nature. All the hormonal cocktail of progesterone, estrogen, and all the pregnancy hormones are changing. Relaxin hormone is taking hold of the woman's body, and it is kind of causing all those changes, which makes the mother vulnerable for feeling different from her normal self. And this can affect mother's health and well-being, and ultimately fetal health and well-being. So we have this responsibility as a health professional to keep her physical and mental health optimum, give her all the tools that are necessary. And the tool that you can give, the best tool you can give to a pregnant woman, is the regular practice of yoga, pranayama, and meditation. So let's explore why prenatal yoga is the right choice for a mother and baby and a family, of course. So why? So for why, we have the answer for primal prevention. Because remember, in the continuum of nursing education, we always talk about the continuum of health. So continuum of health shows us that the first stage is actually prevention of disease. And in prevention, so the foundation for safe motherhood is laid in pre-pregnancy health, even if before woman got pregnant. So she's at a planning stage. Maybe she just got married and maybe she's thinking that in 1 or 2 years time, I would like to have a baby. So from here on, she need to prepare her body, she need to prepare her mind, that so that when she enters in pregnancy, already the mother's body is ready to be in the optimum health. And for that, she will have to look after her nutrition in pre-pregnancy state. The lifestyle choices have to be right. And she need to, when she becomes pregnant, she need to go for prenatal care and always be familiar and aware of the complications that can happen during pregnancy. And that comes through antenatal education, which we are very much lacking in India. And I have this deep desire to start the biggest antenatal education institute in Kanpur. So if you think you have what it takes to establish the Antenatal Education Institute in Kanpur, then please get in touch with me and I will do my best to help in whatever way I can. So the early and effective treatment of complications is really necessary. So what is yoga? And I'm talking to the people who live in the motherland of origin of yoga. It's different when I speak in Ireland, then I have to start with the very basic. But here, when we talk in India, you may think, oh yeah, I know what is yoga. But believe me, you may not know what is yoga, because in my journey, yeah, you can stay on the next slide. So yeah, what is yoga? According to Bhagavad Gita, in the next slide, you will see the definition of yoga, which Krishna, Lord Krishna gave it to Arjuna. He told Arjun, what is yoga? Yogastha kuru karmani, sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, siddhaya siddhayo, samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. He's telling Arjun, be steadfast in the performance of your duty. O Arjun, abandon all the attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So Krishna अर्जुन को बता रहे हैं कि योग की विद्या क्या है। योग की विद्या वो विद्या है जिसमें आपको सफलता और असफलता से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, आप सिर्फ कर्म योग कर रहे हैं, वो योग है। तो अगर एक मदर ये डेफिनेशन समझ पाए तो उसको कोई वरी नहीं होगी फ्यूचर की। मदर सोचेगी कि मेरा ये कर्म है, इस बच्चे को इस संसार में लाना मेरा कर्तव्य है, मेरा कर्म योग है। वो इस बात की चिंता नहीं करेगी कि ये प्रेगनेंसी ठीक चलेगी कि नहीं चलेगी, कहीं मिसकैरेज तो नहीं हो जाएगा, क्योंकि उसका पूरा ध्यान सिर्फ अपने कर्म पर है। उसकी सफलता और असफलता से रिलेटेड नहीं है उसकी हैप्पीनेस। So this is such a deep and profound definition of yoga in Bhagavad Gita. And let's see another definition. In the next slide, we will see another definition of yoga, which is given by Muni Patanjali. And when I say Patanjali, I'm not talking about Baba Ramdev, because in India, he has almost become a synonym for Patanjali. Okay, on my screen, yeah, so this is the slide that I was looking for. So Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So when I'm saying Patanjali, I don't mean Baba Ramdev. All due respect to Baba Ramdev, he has done a revolutionary work to kind of awaken yoga in India all over. Because in India, we were kind of losing the touch with our own yogic system. But Baba Ramdev has done a tremendous amount of work to bring yoga back to life. But I'm talking about Patanjali, who is the father of yoga. Father of yoga, not because he has written Patanjali's Yoga Sutra or he has invented yoga. He's not invented yoga. He's only compiled those Yoga Sutras. The knowledge was already there. So, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So, see, there are 4 Sanskrit words that are so obvious in Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So, what are those 4 words? Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, and Nirodha. So definition is given in just these 4 words. Yoga means union of the body, mind, and soul. Chitta is our inner perceptual space where we perceive everything. It's like subconscious state of mind where nothing is judged. Everything that's happening around us is being recorded all the time, like a hard disk of the computer. Then vritti. What are vritti? Vritti are the thought waves in the mind. So these are the thought waves in the mind that happen depending on the circumstances or the balanced and stable state of mind due to practice of yoga. It could be quite, so you see when you do the ECG and you see a lot of ding, 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 you know, up and down, and then there are stages where isn't, like it's quite stable heartbeat. So like that in the mind, if the mind is stable, it will be kind of quite smooth, little up and down. But somebody who is very anxious, their mind waves will be like that, up and down, big up and down. Somebody who's getting angry, their thought waves are going like sky high, coming down. So that kind of vrittis, the thought waves. Nirodha. Nirodha is the Sanskrit word which means stopping, cessation, जिसमें हम रोकने का कार्य, so जिसमें हम रोकने का काम करते हैं. So yoga is basically an attempt to stop the thought waves in the mind or to make them less kind of up and down, you know, just to control the mind. So yoga is that effort where we learn to control the mind. Next slide, please. And now let's look at what is prenatal yoga. So prenatal yoga is all of that, because prenatal yoga is not different than our normal yoga. It is still yoga. So all of that. And we need to tell pregnant women that yoga is more than physical exercise. It's a holistic approach. That's why yoga is different than going to a gym, building body muscles. But here you are building body muscle and mind muscle at the same time. And scientists have actually proven that if you do meditation practice, if you do yoga practice, then there are physical changes in your brain, which is called neuroplasticity. So yoga is definitely the holistic approach for body, mind, and definitely the soul, and can lead to the union. For pregnant women, that union will be with her family, with her unborn baby, and with the father. So it's always like, don't forget the father. He's the equal contributor. Even though the vessel is with the mother, she has the uterus and she's carrying the baby, but dad is all the time actively participant in this pregnancy. Depending upon his behavior, depending upon how he's looking after his wife, that will have a huge contribution to mother's well-being. So mother, father, and baby. Always these 3 make a complete union of this family structure. And next slide, please. So yeah, as you can see, pregnancy is a perfect union of mother, father, and baby. And we have learned what is prenatal yoga. So in the next slide, we will see what are the benefits of prenatal yoga. But according to Walt Disney, the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. That means just by me saying all this, you know why I'm saying all this to you? Because I want, you are my messenger, you are my ambassador. You can do the work that I alone cannot do. I'm trying my best to reach as many health professionals as I can, but I know the more the merrier. So you have to bring this knowledge forward. You have to encourage people who you know in your surrounding. If you have a bhabhi at home who's pregnant, if you have a sister at home who's pregnant, if you have a neighbor who's pregnant, if you are working in community nursing and you're going to community and you're meeting pregnant women, you have to tell them all to do yoga. And that's when we will start doing things. So then it will be effective. By me giving a talk here, nothing will change, nothing will happen. We will still be having the same problems. But only when pregnant women start to practice yoga, then things will change. Next slide, please. So we will now talk about in the next slide about the benefits of prenatal yoga. So regular yoga practice can reduce maternal stress and anxiety. On my screen, the slide hasn't changed yet, but I'm not sure about you. Okay, so this regular yoga practice, it has been found in the researches that maternal stress leads to negative pregnancy outcomes, such as spontaneous abortion, miscarriage, preterm birth, intrauterine growth retardation, and many other complications that can happen in pregnancy, such as pregnancy-induced hypertension, which I'm sure you know that can be very much linked to maternal stress, which can cause first time in pregnancy that women may feel that she is actually having high blood pressure. So this is from the research of this reference that I've mentioned in the slide about prenatal yoga, the right choice for mother and baby in 2011. So they do recommend that regular yoga practice does reduce maternal stress and anxiety. And let's look at the next benefit for prenatal yoga, which is according to Baby Center. So Baby Center is a very renowned website all around the world because this website is written by clinicians. This is written by obstetricians, qualified midwives. So all the people who contribute, they're all highly professional. So they tell you that yoga helps you face the physical demands of labor, birth, and new motherhood. Yoga teaches how to breathe deeply and consciously relax. Learning to breathe fully is one of the first things women learn in any yoga class. So the first thing you will be taught by a yoga teacher is how to breathe. And you're like, I'm breathing all the time, but that's like an automatic breath, which is happening. But when you consciously breathe, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, and that immediately starts to activate the kind of stress buster hormones. And these are like your happy hormones. And the mother starts to feel relaxed already by doing the Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath is like breath which can be heard. So when we do vinyasa yoga, so my yoga teacher training was in the style of vinyasa yoga. So how we practice Ujjayi breath with each asana is very important. So even when we are moving through sun salutations, we are doing sun salutations, we make a Ujjayi breath very kind of obvious. Sorry, is somebody talking to me? No?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll continue. So I'm just going to give you a little example. What is Ujjayi breath? I'm not even sure if my voice of my breath will go on the other side or not. But it's like when you contract the muscles in the glottis and then you inhale after contracting the muscles here, and then you exhale in the same. So it's a loud breath. So loud breath is called Ujjayi breath. And it has its own way of purifying the nadis in our nadi system. So let me show you how you will be doing Ujjayi breath. So sitting tall and deliberately kind of contracting the muscles in your throat and taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. So I'm not sure if you could hear, but that is Ujjayi breath. It's a loud breath. It's very effective. When you do it with yoga asana, you don't get tired, you don't get exhausted because your breath is constantly moving with the body in different asanas. So yoga also lowers the risk for mother and her baby because when mother is breathing with Ujjayi breath, it is bringing that fresh oxygen to the baby. And the review of 10 research studies found that it reduces the chance of having pregnancy complications, and it reduces the stress in mother, and it even kind of reduces the risk of having a baby who is small for gestational age. So mother is more likely to have a baby of a healthy weight. And in India, the average baby weight is about 3 kilogram or thereabouts. And in next slide, we will see more benefits of yoga according to evidence-based information. So evidence-based information is very obvious from this 2019 study, which was done by Amanda Stiles and other colleagues of hers. And they used a mixed method of study of acceptability and benefits for young women. So they were really young women who were probably in the age group of 20 to 24-year-old. So these, they wanted to see if these young girls will accept yoga during pregnancy or not. So they found in their research that those who participated in yoga sessions, they experienced self-reported decrease in their stress levels, and they also reported that their kind of, it was a help with their labor and the birth of their baby. And all the participants identified perceived benefits in terms of relaxation, in terms of psychological distress. They felt less distressed, and
Evidence-based benefit of prenatal.
and they felt it was easy to bond with their baby in uterus. And the social connectedness was great with their young pair. So imagine,
तभी
put
हमने
yourself
फोटो
on
खींच ली
mute.
है
Somebody is not on mute, and that's creating a lot of noise.
तभी हमने फोटो खींच ली है कि हम लोगों का वेबिनार
Please put yourself on mute if you're not on mute. So it was found that when 20 and 24-year-old women would gather, like young girls, when they gather together, it like they felt happy. And when they felt happy with yoga, it was definitely beneficial for the journey. So let's look at the next slide, more evidence-based information as to how yoga can benefit for our baby and for the pregnant woman. So in the next slide, we will notice another study that was done for the effect of yoga on the delivery and neonatal outcomes in nulliparous pregnant women in Iran, a clinical trial study. So see the term delivery. Sorry, I'm just kind of distracted a little bit, because when I did my university level course in preparing the parents for pregnancy and parenthood journey, then they said not to use this term delivery. Why? Because if pizza man does delivery of pizza, this woman is not doing that kind of delivery, isn't it? She's giving birth. So when you are, like, especially if you're a fourth-year student and you are studying obstetrical nursing as one of your module, then make sure that you use the right terminology. I couldn't change that because that was the topic of the study. But instead of delivery, use the term birth, because mother is giving birth. Pizza man does delivery. Mother gives birth. So in this study, they found that this study's aim was to investigate the effect of yoga on neonatal and pregnancy outcomes in Qazvin. And what they found was that in terms of neonatal, in terms of the natural birth, there were 29% more birth that were natural for the experimental group. And the cesarean births were 8% less for the experimental group. And the use of local anesthesia was more in the experimental group. Why? Because, you know, local anesthesia is given for like episiotomy. So obviously more women were giving natural birth or vaginal birth. So the local anesthesia was used more for experimental group, and the use of general anesthesia was definitely less in experimental group. And the induction of labor was much less, 15% only in the experimental group. And the premature rupture of membrane was only 9% compared to 12% in the control group. And the preterm birth was 0%. So nobody gave preterm birth in the experimental group. And in the control group, the preterm birth was 4%. So it is so obvious. If we'll see more benefits in the next slide in terms of what happened in this study. So the mean duration of labor from the onset of pain until the birth was given was 3 to 4 hours in the in the experimental group. So in the experimental group where the yoga was taught, they found that these women had shorter duration of labor compared to about 5 to 6 hours where there was no yoga teaching was given. So the labor duration was shorter, and it is statistically significant. And the second benefit that they saw in the Apgar score. So in the first 2 to 5 minutes, the Apgar score that was noticed was also significant difference in the first Apgar score of the infants in the control group and in the yoga group, and between the second Apgar score of the infant in the control group and the yoga group, and it was statistically significant. And the result also showed that yoga exercises significantly affect the birth weight of the infant. So we already said that those women who do yoga, that their babies would be of a healthy birth weight. They won't be overweight. So if baby is more than 4 kilo in size in Indian terms, baby will be considered kind of over, you know, a big baby, overweight baby. Whereas if baby is around 3 kilogram, 3 to 3.5 kilogram, that's like a good average, healthy Indian birth weight baby. Why I'm saying Indian? Because all these numbers are very different in Ireland. Like, I hear from my clients that if they are Indian and they are attending maternity hospitals in Ireland, sometime actually the obstetricians or midwives are worried because the babies weight in the third trimester, the estimated fetal weight can be quite low. And they think that, oh, but then they think, oh yeah, because you're from India, so your baby's weight would be around that. But otherwise, average Irish babies are about 4 kilogram or more. So 4 to 4.5 kilogram is kind of average in Ireland for the size of the baby because of their Caucasian population, and we are Asian. So the mean birth weight of the infant in the yoga group was higher than of the control group. So control group was giving birth to low birth weight babies. The mean and the standard deviation of the gestational age at birth was also different. So the yoga group or experimental group was giving birth after 38 weeks, between 38 and 39 weeks, whereas the control group was giving birth between 37 and 38 weeks, which is not bad. So after 37 weeks, it's a full term pregnancy anyway. And the Mann-Whitney test that was done, it showed a significant difference between the two groups. And now we'll see more in the next slide about yoga asanas. So when we do yoga asanas during pregnancy, we have to remember to, like, that's not your responsibility, that's the responsibility of the yoga teacher. In Ireland, lot of maternity hospitals, not lot of, actually almost all maternity hospitals have a yoga class running for pregnant women. Can we do that in India? I'm not sure. Is it happening in India? If not, can you do something to make it happen in India? Every maternity hospital should be teaching yoga to pregnant women. So it is and those yoga teachers may or may not be midwives. A lot of midwives become yoga teachers and they teach in maternity hospitals. But if the yoga teacher is not a midwife, we have to make sure that yoga teacher knows a lot about pregnant women body. So there are contraindications, that poses and asanas that should not be practiced during pregnancy, any abdominal poses such as Navasana. So in Navasana, person is putting a lot of force on the core muscles, core abdominal muscles. Abdominal muscles are not to be used during pregnancy for asana practice. So Navasana is not suitable, Uttan Padasana is not suitable, any core exercises are not suitable. We wouldn't be asking them to do Kapalbhati or anything like that, because that will not be a suitable pranayama for pregnant women. We have to tell pregnant women, especially in the second trimester, not to lie on their belly for Bhujangasana, Shalabhasana, Dhanurasana, and even any poses that are to be done lying on their back, their duration has to be very limited. So we can't get the pregnant women after 20 weeks to lie on their back for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. That's not ideal. So we have to modify, and it has to be really a prenatal yoga that is tailored only for pregnant women. And in the next slide, we will see that I'm coming to the end of this presentation, and I hope you have learned about what is prenatal yoga and what is yoga, why yoga is different than other gym type of exercises or running or walking, and how yoga is a holistic approach for pregnant women, and what evidence-based information we have to prove that yoga works for the fetal outcomes, yoga works for the pregnancy outcomes, and how we can avoid those complications. So the references that I have used are here on this slide. And in the next slide, we will see a little more about Shubh Connections. So if you have enjoyed this talk, then please follow me on the YouTube. I always share at least one Patanjali's Yoga Sutra every single day. So you will learn the real meaning of yoga by the father of yoga, Patanjali. So if you're interested in learning more about yoga, then please follow me on the YouTube. And I have a Facebook page, which is also called Shubh Connections. On Instagram also, it is called Shubh Connections. And even I'm on LinkedIn. So you will find me on all social media platforms. And I would love to connect more with people from Kanpur, from Uttar Pradesh. So I am one of you. So please support me. And thank you so much. And in the next slide, I would like to express my gratitude to principal of Narayana Institute in Kanpur, Madam Jayashree Ajit. I feel she is my biggest cheerleader on this journey, because I remember that was just the beginning of COVID. And she invited me. That time she was working in Jay Institute, and that time also she gave me something similar topic. It was not exactly the same, but that was also to do with pregnancy yoga. So thank you so much, Jayashree ma'am. You are my senior, and I always learn from you. And you know, and all the IT department, and also our organizer for today's session, the Nursing Teachers Association of India, all the office bearers of the Nursing Teacher Association, Uttar Pradesh branch, and all the participants who have listened so enthusiastically, and hope you have learned something about the amalgamation of these two beautiful journeys of yoga and pregnancy for a mother, and you have the role to play. So I'm so grateful, and I don't take this lightly, the presence of so many beautiful souls to listen to me. It is such an honor, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I'll be delighted to be able to answer your questions.
First of all, thank you so very much, man, for this wonderful session, for which, however and whatever we say will never be enough, because what we have learned today is far beyond our, imagination, and we are very grateful for that. Moving on to the Q&A sections, please put your questions in the chat box so that we can ask the dignitary respective questions. There was one question from Dr. Sarika Saxena. By doing what hormonal changes will be originated? Kindly reply.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Let me
By
have.
doing what hormonal changes will be originated? Like, I think they are asking
By
for
doing
what sort of
hormonal changes
hormonal
will be
changes.
originated. Okay, that question is a little bit tricky, but yeah, I will try my best to answer. By doing what? So let's, by doing what? The doing yoga asanas and doing meditation. The biggest doing that you can do is non-doing. So when I say non-doing, means meditating. Meditation is the biggest act of non-doing, because as a human, our sense organs are designed that way. Look at our ears, they are opened outwards. Look at our eyes, they open outward. The tongue, the sense organ, that opens outwards. The skin, the biggest organ in the whole body, is, you know, the again our touch to the external world. The nose that is sitting on the top of the face, that is opening outward. But when you do meditation, you withdraw your senses and you go within. When you go within, you learn a lot which is not written in any book. You learn from your own mind. You learn how your mind is like a monkey. It's always jumping, it's always going here and there. And then you learn the mastery of this art of restraining the chitta, vritti, which Patanjali was talking about. So the biggest doing that will bring the hormonal changes in women's body. So I suppose you're talking about endorphins. So endorphins are our happy hormones, and they will only come about when the mother is connected with her Anandamaya kosha, which is the fifth and the most inner layer of the yogic body, the pancha kosha that I was talking about. So if mother is in connection with her bliss body, which is the Anandamaya kosha, then she will remain happy. and she will release those endorphins. So ask every mother to meditate.
There's thank you so much, ma'am, for this question. There's another one where there's a username as Kajal Singh is asking that up to which trimester the woman can do all these prenatal asanas.
Very good question, Kajal. Thank you for asking this question. So up to which trimester women can do? Yes. So yoga in first trimester will be little bit different than what yoga can be done in the second trimester and what yoga can be done in the third trimester. That's why we want prenatal yoga teachers to be specially trained in pregnancy yoga. They can't be just like any yoga teacher, unless they have received a specialized training. Otherwise, they will start teaching all the wrong things and the mother might get injured during pregnancy. So the first trimester, I can tell you, first of all, in Ireland, they don't teach any yoga in first trimester. And it's so unfortunate. It's so sad. And I try my best, to tell midwives and to tell other yoga teachers. But you know why they don't teach yoga in the first trimester in Ireland is because of the insurance purposes, because they're not covered. All insurance companies will say, we won't cover you if you teach, because most of the miscarriages happen in before 12 weeks. So they are afraid that if women had a miscarriage, then she might blame that I went for a yoga class and then I had a miscarriage. So thankfully, our Indian mind doesn't work like that. So, that's the drawback in Ireland. But in India, I don't think that's an issue. I mean, we should have insurance for yoga classes, but it should be okay to practice simple yoga asanas depending on mother's practice before getting pregnant. So if a woman who has never done any yoga and she's first time coming to your class and she's in first trimester, you have to start with very simple, very basic asanas and not challenging poses, and remembering that her body is going through a lot of relaxin hormone, which is relaxing the muscles, joints, ligaments, and her body is more susceptible for injuries. So first trimester yoga is safe. And actually even bhujangasana, lying on the belly, and all that can be done. But in second trimester, when the uterus starts to come out of the pelvic cavity and it becomes part of the abdominal cavity, at that stage, we have to start to tell women that now it's different yoga that we will practice. So a lot of like Marjory Asana. Marjory Asana is a cat pose. So where you are on your all fours and you're on your hands and knees and you're opening up and the chest and looking up like a cow. So it's a cow pose, which is called Bitila Asana. And then you round your shoulder and you look inward and your chin goes to the chest. And then you make a rounding of the spine, which is called Marjory Asana. It's a cat pose. So a lot of women will benefit such asana which are done on their hands and knees. So they're neither lying on your front, neither lying on their back, but they're spending a lot of times on their hands and knees. They're working on their wrist joint, which helps to kind of, strengthen this area so that women won't get carpal tunnel syndrome and all of that. But the question was that which asanas should not be practiced in the third trimester, I think. So yeah, any asana that put any pressure or build pressure in the abdominal area should be completely avoided in third trimester. So any core asana exercises, or depending on women's pelvic floor. So if her pelvic floor is weak and she's reporting having already a lot of stress incontinence, which is very common, 1 in 4 women have a stress incontinence in pregnancy. So if they are having stress incontinence, then don't even do Virabhadrasana, which is a warrior pose, and you put a lot of pressure on the pelvic floor. So yeah, any asana to do on the abdominal muscles and any asana that may cause more stress incontinence, depending on women's personal body. Like every class teacher has to talk to the women and ask them. So we always start class by asking, do you have any injuries? Have you any aches and pains? And we don't just start teaching. Like the online yoga sessions may not be suitable for women because they unless the teacher is very clued in and talking to the women. So mass yoga classes like Baba Ramdev's class looking at the TV, that wouldn't be suitable for a pregnant woman. She should only be going for personalized classes.
Right. There's one more question from Kajal, and I think you've already answered, but I'll just repeat the question. The second question that Kajal has, at that at least at the earliest of the pregnancy and at the last of the trimester, can we continue these asanas? So I think you already answered that at what trimester there is a specific asana that needs to be practiced. So moving on to another question. There's a user named as Nibha Tiwari, and she asks, kindly tell the names of some yoga method for third trimester. I think already again you've answered, or if you'd like
For
to.
third trimester, yes, let me say that because that's
Sure,
a very good question, I think. And I love that because
definitely.
third trimester is a beautiful time when women are excited and they're nervous. They're excited because they know that the pregnancy will be over soon, and they're nervous because they will go into labor and they have to give birth. So it's a beautiful time. And the more asana practice should be tailored towards making women relax, to making their pelvic floor and the area open. So hip openers, a lot of yoga asanas that are like Baddha Konasana, the cobbler's pose, and the butterfly, where you sit in Baddha Konasana with your feet together and you're moving your thighs up and down, up and down. All those asanas would be very suitable. And it may not be in your traditional yoga asanas, but asking pregnant women in third trimester to get a big gym ball, those big gym balls where you can sit on the ball. So those balls will be very beneficial for pregnant women to have in third trimester. And they can simply just sit on the ball and do these yoga asanas like a chair pose. So they're sitting on the ball and they're raising their both arms to the front, or they are just simply lifting their both arms up, or just simply kind of holding it like this, sitting on the ball. Because sitting on a floor is okay for some pregnant women. Others may not find it very comfortable. And then this, what is it called? Like a Durga pose. Sorry, I'm not getting the exact name, but it's a squat. So all the squats are really good. So if you are squatting in third trimester, they're extremely good to open the hips and prepare. So every time you go in a squat, every time you do Utkatasana, every time you do Baddha Konasana, you're opening the hips and you're providing more space for the baby's head to be kind of coming into the right position for birth, because we want the baby's head to be in the front of the pelvis and not facing backward, because that is one of the complication. I mean, not even complication, but it's like an abnormality where baby's head is not facing the front part of the pelvis. And then the labor will take much longer. But if mother is doing all these asanas, baby's head will be in the LOA, left occipital anterior. And then baby's head will only have to move this much and is ready and in alignment for the birth canal to come out from the outlet. So it's so beautifully already, if she's doing all this, she will develop that understanding.
I'd like to share an experience I saw. I go to a gym, and it's near to my house, located in the area of Kakadev, Kanpur. And the name is Force Fit Gyms. Shout out to the gym. So I definitely have seen this ball that you're talking about, and there is a certain section in gym where pregnant ladies would come, and the yoga instructor would ask this very same squatting position. So I definitely have seen. I always wondered, because now I am much more informed by all the contemplation between yoga and pregnancy, that why do they need to go to yoga and all gym during pregnancy. Now I understand how important it is. So I definitely have seen some gym trainers to train pregnant ladies for these yogas, but I wasn't very sure that why are they doing like that. But I am now very well informed regarding that concept. There are few more
Share
questions if
that.
you'd like to take, ma'am.
Sorry.
There are I think couple of more questions if I
Yes,
can.
sure.
Okay.
Questions are guaranteed, but answers are not. But go ahead.
um Okay, I think there are no more questions. They were just appreciation like letters for you. So they're all very thankful and blessed to have you and enriching their knowledge in terms of this core concept that none of us were, incited for that concept. So again, thank you
Ernest.
so very
Hello,
much, ma'am.
Ernest.
Yes, ma'am. Good
Yes,
Still
I
afternoon.
have
am.
asked one question more. Maybe you
Okay,
are missing.
please. Yeah, sure, ma'am, please. I'm so sorry.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Aparna. How are you?
Hello, Sarika Didi. How are you?
Through this platform, I am meeting to our senior, our madam, as well as our junior. So it's a great. Anyway, my question is that do you have, Aparna madam, any video of yours video regarding this prenatal yoga which you have this having? If you have, then you share us, please.
Wow. Thank you.
And one more advice also, which I have already mentioned in my feedback. Suppose means you have means your presentation, your thinking, your way is a very is remarkable, commendable. But this kind of things, if we see during this session, some practice kind of means practice means there's some you can say the practical things. So we
Yes.
can share to the students and even we can also see.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a very good, actually,
So that is a preloaded
recommendation.
videos. Your preloaded videos in your PPT.
Yes. I remember doing for one institute, but that time I didn't do any presentation and I kept it only practical and I literally just sat on my mat and I did yoga asanas. So yeah, that is very much possible, but I can do only one or the other. It's hard to do both. And that's a good suggestion that I could have done a prenatal yoga video. And thank you. But I mean, I have hundreds of videos, but unfortunately, I haven't yet uploaded any video on
Oh my
prenatal
God,
yoga.
why
And
not?
it's a shame for me being a
No.
midwife.
It is nothing for shame, but this is a good. Maybe the future you can. If I was
Yes,
simply asking if you have, then you will share us. But anyway, in future you can plan and then share us, please.
I think you have now motivated me, so I'm definitely going to upload at least one video on prenatal yoga.
Not at least one
And
video,
then I
ma'am.
can
More
that
video
I'll
we
share.
can upload.
Sorry, Rahul, please come again.
Yes, I'm telling to ma'am. Ma'am is saying one video going to upload. I just say not one video. We need more videos.
Definitely.
Ma'am, we
Because
need all
audience
100 of them
also
that you
in
shot.
yeah, audience.
Then please start watching first what I have already uploaded.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
sure,
then
ma'am. Sure.
that will encourage me. Oh, now I
Right.
have more viewers, so then I will.
Okay, ma'am. So thank
One
you
of the
so very
audience,
much.
she's asking prenatal video.
Prenatal yoga, yes, I will.
Video. Someone asking asanas video.
There are loads of asana videos, loads of them. Pranayama videos, loads of them. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, loads of them. So I have loads of yoga and meditation videos. The only thing that is missing is prenatal yoga. So I will add that.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
So thank you so very much, ma'am, again. Uh, I actually don't have words. Mostly I do, but at this time, it's been so enriching for us, and it's something that not any of us, I would say, not even few of us, not any of us has, thought about how important how it is, and the importance of yoga in pregnancy. And I just, whenever being a male person, whenever I get educated regarding pregnancy, I just have such huge respect for all the females in the world, and including I would, my family members, my faculty and everyone. So again, thank you for shedding light on this particular subject, for which it is enriching the knowledge of so many. I mean, at least 400, I can say. Moving on to the last aspect of our international webinar, which is vote of thanks. So if we can have Mrs. Shushmita Rai, ma'am, Secretary of Kanpur Zone Nursing Teachers Association of India, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Shushmita ma'am.
Good afternoon to all members of webinar. Myself, Sushmita Rai, Assistant Professor at Narayana Nursing College, Program Coordinator. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to the all dignitaries assembled in the webinar. Thank you to all. On behalf of the Narayana Nursing College, I would like to thank to our guest speaker, respected Mrs. Aparna Shukla ma'am, Nurse Midwife Advisor, Ireland, for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things that's on impact of yoga in pregnancy and its outcome on fetal well-being. Thank you, Aparna ma'am. I would like to thank respected Amit Narayan sir, Secretary of Narayana Group of Institution, and Mr. Udit Narayan, MD of Narayana Group of Institution, for giving an opportunity to organize this occasion. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our respected Professor Girja Sharma ma'am, District Coordinator, Kanpur Zone, UP, NTI, and Principal Krishna Institute of Nursing Science and Research, Kanpur. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank to our respected Principal ma'am, Professor Jessie Ajit, President of Kanpur Zone, UP, NTI, Principal of Narayana College of Nursing, Kanpur, for encouraging us and giving an opportunity to speak on this auspicious occasion, and it's a matter of honor for me. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank to Shalini Vishnoi, Secretary of Kanpur Zone and Assistant Professor in Chaudhry Sugar Singh Nursing College. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank of NTI members, Professor Dr. Farooq Khan sir, National President of NTI, Professor Dr. Manish Kumar, National General Secretary of NTI, Professor Dr. Poonam Thakur, National Treasurer of NTI, Professor Dr. Prosti, President of UP State NTI. Thank you, NTI members. Professor Kiran Sharma, Vice President of UP State NTI, Professor Dr. Sarika Saxena, Secretary UP State NTI, Professor Dr. Manju Rajput, Joint Secretary of UP State NTI, Mrs. Shalini Singh, Treasurer of UP State NTI, Mrs. Rahul Sarma, Media of Coordinator UP State NTI, Mr. Satendra Singh, Social Media Coordinator of UP State of NTI. Thank you, NTI members. I would like to thank our organizer, Mr. Dheeraj Parashar, National Spokesperson, NTI, and in charge UP State Branch. Thank you, Dheeraj sir. I would like to thank our program organizer, Mr. Shailendra Lal, Media Coordinator, Kanpur Zone, UP, NTI, and Assistant Professor of Narayana Nursing College, Kanpur. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank my program coordinator, Mr. Ernest Lamure, Joint Secretary of Kanpur Zone, UP State of NTI. Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Lastly, I would thank you from the bottom of my heart. Also, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the guests and speakers and students present today's the webinar. Thank you to all. Over to Ernest, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the honors. and thank you for blessing us with the presence. Again, a huge shout out and a big thank you to our resource person, Aparna Shukla ma'am, who has been such an eminent speaker, not only for today, but for the many, I would not say, I actually am not sure for how long have we been doing this, because we have, there's no, measurement of the contribution that you have done for the nursing world. And we are very grateful and we are very blessed for your contribution and for today as well. Thank you for blessing us with that core knowledge and your expertise on this particular subject, and as well all the dignitaries and participants. Thank you so very much to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
So much, Ernest.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Aparna ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Thank you,
Thank you so much to all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, madam.
Informative session, sir. Informative session, ma'am.
Very nice it was and very useful too. This is not written in books. This is practical only.
That's what I've never studied in
Exactly, Girija ma'am.
all of my 6 years about this. So this is a very maybe we can somehow make a meeting with Aparna ma'am and Dilip Kumar sir, and then maybe we can enroll this in the program of the Indian nursing students.
Yeah, can we bring it in the curriculum of the obstetrical
what.
nursing?
Yeah, sure.
Hello, this is there from the Indian Nursing Council. They have given this 20 hours yoga classes is very compulsory for the students now. They have included in the curriculum itself. If we think over that previously the female, when they go for the birthing process, so they used to have a position, that is the squatting position. But nowadays we are not using, but previously the mothers, when we go for the home deliveries, they use the squatting position, which enhances the baby more. But now it is more scientific, and I think so we have to make aware of the females. They have to go for the positions which previously was used.
So I think it is beneficial to each and every pregnant woman without any cost.
Yes, ma'am.
Free of cost.
Oh yeah, free of cost. They can enhance the
So
natural.
that's more valuable in India.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Why not? We can prevent the cesarean sections.
Yeah, we can prevent many complications.
Complications, and also we can.
And we can encourage even the normal deliveries.
Yeah, we can have the more normal natural births rather than the LSS.
Actually, can I say one thing? And
Yeah,
I'm only
please do.
saying
Yes, ma'am,
this
yes, ma'am.
because I have all the right people in front of me. Something that I cannot do, but you can do.
Yes, ma'am.
Is I'm opening up a Pandora box. But the truth is that in India, there are a lot of malpractices by the obstetricians are happening. Some obstetrician, I won't say all.
Right.
But unnecessary cesarean sections for women, which can be completely avoided, which is so harmful for the mother and baby. So the more antenatal education and more empowering the women is necessary. Sorry,
Agreed.
I didn't hear.
So thank you so much, Aparna ma'am.
Thank you. So yeah, please, if you can do anything in that regard, I'm very grateful. Please save our mothers and babies in India, in Kanpur, in UP. Don't let anyone harm them.
Definitely, ma'am. I'm very sure the participants, whoever heard your voice, has been impacted by your vision, and I'm very sure that on a personal level, everyone will try to make a change in this aspect, because it's not only that is affecting pregnant mothers, it is affecting everyone eventually. So I am very sure that for someone as senior as Jayashri ma'am, or for someone as junior as me, an MSc nursing freshman like this is my first year of teaching after MSc. So I know on every level, each and every one who has heard your voice and who has saw your vision is deeply impacted by your commitment and your contribution. So again, thank you so very much, ma'am. And so coming to the end of the session, we have already posted the feedback link in the chat box. So please make sure all the participants to fill and submit the feedback form, and on the registered email you will get your e-certificates provided by the organization. So again, thank you to one and all respected dignitaries and the resource person and the participants. Thank you. This is Ernest Lamwell, Joint Secretary of Kanpur Zone, UP State Branch, Nursing Teachers Association of India. Thank you. Rahul sir, I think we can end the meeting now.
Dheeraj sir, anything else, sir? Dheeraj sir? Dheeraj sir, anything you want to say? Your feedback, sir, because your feedback is very important to us. Yes, sir.
एक्चुअली आज का जो सेशन है वो बहुत ही शानदार सेशन है, खास करके नर्सिंग टीचर्स एसोसिएशन उत्तर प्रदेश के लिए, बिकॉज हमने आज एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे एक ऐसा मैसेज दिया है अपने लोगों को और अपने नर्सिंग प्रोफेशनल्स को, नर्सिंग स्टूडेंट्स को, और वो भी हमने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। तो ये हमारे लिए बहुत ही अच्छा एक मतलब एक टास्क था, और थोड़ा सा स्टार्टिंग में टाइम का इशू या फिर टेक्निकल इश्यूज की वजह से थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हुई, उसके लिए एक्सट्रीमली सॉरी एंड कांग्रेचुलेशन एंड थैंक यू फॉर ऑल टीम एंड also Aparna ma'am to join us to give you valuable time for our association, for us. Thank you so much. हमेशा हम ऐसे जुड़े रहेंगे और आप अपने आइडियाज, अपना नॉलेज हमारे साथ शेयर करते रहना। थैंक यू सो मच मैम।
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Sarika ma'am, आप कुछ anything you want to say? डॉक्टर सारिका मैम, मैम आई थिंक कुछ बोल रही थी।
हाँ, मैम का म्यूट में था शायद।
Okay. So now
yes, I am here.
Yes, ma'am. आप कुछ बोल रहे थे मैम?
हाँ नहीं, first of all I would like to thank to everyone who supported this session with the international people. Really, Aparna madam, she really did a hard work in her life. We can say she's not here. She's in out foreign country and taking care of the as a midwife counselor over there. And it is a challenge for her and even for each and everyone, those who are there and taking care of the responsibility of the foreign country people. And by sitting over there, she's connected with us and sharing her views and sharing evidence knowledge which is based on the research, and that is commendable. That is a very remarkable she has shared with us, and I really thankful to Madam Jashri Didi. You are really miss by seeing your face, by your personality, we always impressed because you also did a lot and you have a focused, which we have seen during our training period, and giving a command to us, giving a direction to us during the clinical as well as in the education college of nursing. And right now again you are in Kanpur by sitting a position, taking a principal post. That is a really very nice. And NTI members.
Thank you so much.
NTI members, Mr. Parashar, Madam Deepa ma'am, Manju, everyone, really they are sharing. They are not getting time, but still they are connected with us through the NTI and helping to the UP people so that we have to be there in front of everyone. And by one of another way, we have to share our knowledge. We are sharing our things, and we will see that at one stage we should get the top positions in the NTI of other states. Let's see in future, maybe it's be possible. With the busy schedule, everyone are busy, but especially this Parashar is doing a lot. We can appreciate to him, and then we need all members. We expect with the all members, we all have to be give a proper initiation and the time also for this NTI UP, and we have to connect with the others also. And and Ernest, means the way of presentation, the way of telling the things, the way you are announcing the speaker and the audience as well as the members, that is a different way which you are presenting, Ernest.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you for appreciating. Thank you.
Madam,
I'm gonna cry now after the session.
now, now, Ernest, you can see my
Honestly,
madam
right.
is
You are
also here
so
in
good.
this group. Girja ma'am, Girja Sharma ma'am. We learned a lot from madam. Madam is always helping in our clinical side, especially when she take the round. And otherwise also in the, I think I remember in the cardiac hospital, madam is supported by telling, by teaching everywhere, every time. So really with this platform, we again connected with each other. Some people are in foreign countries, someone are in India, someone are sitting in Kanpur. So through that, at least we are connected. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, ma'am, for appreciating each and everyone personally and professionally. We do not know how and what we deserve to have you in our lives. And the reason why I'm doing this today, the reason why I am in touch with Dheeraj Parashar sir is because of Sarika Saxena ma'am. And ma'am has played an immense role in my life, pushing me forward in this, nursing world. So again, thank you so very much, ma'am, from the NTI family and from the bottom of my heart.
So
Thank you
much.
all for
Keep growing, keep
being here.
growing.
Thank you. Thank you, Aparna ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to all.
Okay, so now we are going to end the session.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Aparna ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Jay Shri.